to compile the efficacy of clarithromycin versus methylprednisolone in the treatment of non-eosinophilic and eosinophilic nasal polyps. Methods: design randomized control trial setting, tertiary government training hospital, participants 42 patients with chronic rhinosinusitis with nasal polyps were grouped into non-eosinophilic and eosinophilic, but were given clarithromycin 500 mg per day and other arm given methylprednisolone 32 mg per day. Evaluation via anterior rhinoscopy, sinonasal outcome test, and endoscopy appearance scoring. Results: clarithromycin and methylprednisolone were effective in the treatment of eosinophilic nasal polyps. However, methylprednisolone better than clarithromycin in terms of superior endoscopy appearance scores. Clarithromycin better than the methylprednisolone arms in the treatment of non-eosinophilic patients. Conclusion: clarithromycin for non-eosinophilic nasal polyps and methylprednisolone for eosinophilic polyps. Introduction. Are known for their immunomodulator properties. Macrolide to inhibit mucus secretion, enhance mucociliary activity, reduce mucus secretion, and suppress cytokine or chemokine production. Macrolide is alternative treatment for a host of inflammatory disease including chronic rhinosinusitis with and without polyps. Corticosteroids have been recommended as first-line management choice to suppress the chemotaxis and activation of eosinophil, cell-T, and mast cell, reduction of polyp size, improvement of nasal symptoms, and nasal airflow. Article suggested that macrolide and corticosteroid modulate eosinophilic and eosinophilic inflammation. Controversies still exist regarding the use of macrolides in the treatment of chronic rhinosinusitis. An explained model study saw clarithromycin and dexamethasone exhibiting similar anti-inflammatory effect and different chronic rhinosinusitis phenotype. Evidence is still insufficient to warrant concrete recommendation for the use macrolide therapy in chronic rhinosinusitis with polyp phenotype. This clinical study aimed to investigate the potential beneficial effect of macrolides on both non-eosinophilic and eosinophilic nasal polyps by comparing the efficacy of clarithromycin against methylprednisolone. Methods: randomized control trial conducted at the outpatient department of a tertiary government training hospital from August 2016 to December 2016. Diagnosis, physical examination, anterior rhinoscopy, and nasal endoscopy. Evaluated their symptoms using the sinonasal outcome test, and polyps were evaluated using the endoscopy appearance score. Method included all patients newly diagnosed as having chronic sinusitis with nasal polyps, exclude patients with unilateral polyps, pregnant, immunocompromised patient, hypersensitivity to either macrolides or corticosteroid, and patients not amenable to biopsy. This is score of endoscopy appearance: discharge 0, no discharge; 1, clear thin discharge; 2, thick purulent discharge; udem 0, absence; 1 male; 2 severe polyp; 0, absence of polyps; 1 polyps in the middle meatus only; 2 polyps beyond middle meatus but not blocking the nose completely; 3 polyps completely obstructing the nose. This is method design of random control trial with journal confirmation of nasal polyps via physical examination. Next, note 22 and endoscopic appearance scores. Next, biopsy for eosinophil count to non-eosinophilic and eosinophilic. Non-eosinophilic give clarithromycin and methylprednisolone. Next, evaluation day 7 with slot 22 or endoscopy appearance scores. Next, improvement no. Next, standard treatment, improvement yes, continue treatment until 15 days. Next, evaluation day 15 with slot 22 or endoscopy appearance scores. And then eosinophilic, if clarithromycin and methylprednisolone. Next, evaluation day 7 with slot 22 or endoscopy appearance scores. If improvement yes, continue treatment until 15 days. And then evaluation day 15 with SNOT 22 or endoscopy appearance scores. Improvement no, standard treatment. This is informed consent was obtained. Next specimen were sent to pathology for eosinophil count. Next patient were classified into two group non-eosinophilic and eosinophilic. Next, after biopsy, all patients were given intranasal fluticasone propionate aqueous nasal spray. Next, patients were randomized via flow sampling or fishbowl technique to either treatment 1 or 2. Treatment 1 arm was given clarithromycin 500 mg per day for 15 days. Next, treatment 2 arm was given methylprednisolone 32 mg per day for 5 days. 16 mg per day for the next 5 days and 8 mg per day for the last 5 days. Next, patients were evaluated using the SNOT 22 and the endoscopy appearance scores on 7 and 15 days of treatment. Next outcome, measure data were encoded and SNOT 22 and endoscopy appearance scores analysis using Whitney test. Result 42 patients participated in the study. 20 were female and 22 were males with mean X of 45.25. 9 were found to be non-eosinophilic and 33 were classified as eosinophilic. This is table explain independent sample revealed that the difference was not significant. This is figure non-eosinophilic polyps SNOT 22 of pre-treatment versus 7 day and versus 15 day. 9 participants in the non-eosinophilic group, 4 were given clarithromycin, 5 were given methylprednisolone, showing that on both 7 and 15 day, clarithromycin outperformed methylprednisolone. This is figure non-eosinophilic polyps endoscopy appearance score of pre-treatment versus 7 day and versus 15 day, suggesting the clarithromycin arm results were better than the methylprednisolone arm on the 15 day. Non-eosinophilic polyps clarithromycin versus methylprednisolone improvement in SNOT 22 and endoscopy appearance score on the 7 and 15 days. SNOT 22 showing that on both 7 and 15 day clarithromycin outperformed methylprednisolone. Endoscopy appearance score suggesting the clarithromycin arm results were better than the methylprednisolone arm on the 15 day. Overall, the results suggest that the clarithromycin performed significantly better than the methylprednisolone arm in the treatment of non-eosinophilic patients. Eosinophilic polyps SNOT 22 of pre-treatment versus 7 day and versus 15 day. 33 eosinophilic patients, 17 were given clarithromycin and 16 were given methylprednisolone. Both treatment were found to be equally effective in improving SNOT-22 score. This is figure eosinophilic polyps endoscopy appearance score of treatment versus 7-day and versus 15-day, suggesting that methylprednisolone performed better than clarithromycin.
You should use your pointer to explain this graphic. Where is the decreasing in clarithromycin and methylprednisolone, so that make your presentation. Yeah.
This is P less than 0,001 significant. This is the pretreatment versus 15-day, and P less than 0,001 significant. Pretreatment versus 7-day, and this is it. Methylprednisolone P less than 0,001 significant. Endoscopy appearance score pre-treatment versus 15-day, and P less than 0,001 significant. Endoscopy appearance score of pre-treatment versus 7-day. This is using endoscopy appearance score. So this is methylprednisolone that methylprednisolone perform better than clarithromycin. Eosinophilic polyps clarithromycin versus methylprednisolone improvement in SNOT-22 and endoscopy appearance score on the 7 and 15 days. SNOT-22 both treatment were found to be equally effective in improving SNOT-22 score. Endoscopy appearance score suggesting that methylprednisolone performed better than clarithromycin, and overall both clarithromycin and methylprednisolone were effective for eosinophilic nasal polyps. However, methylprednisolone was significantly better than clarithromycin in terms of superior endoscopy appearance scores. Discussion: in this study, clarithromycin performed better than methylprednisolone in the treatment of non-eosinophilic nasal polyps. This is in congruence with most studies comparing macrolide and corticosteroid in the treatment of nasal polyps, suggesting that corticosteroid perform poorly in the absence of eosinophilic predominance. Comparing response of neutrophil positive and neutrophil negative nasal polyps to oral prednisone treatment, Will and colleagues noted that neutrophil-mediated inflammation negatively affected the efficacy of oral corticosteroid therapy. Borbok et al. Patients treated with roxithromycin who demonstrated significant improvement as exhibited below the level of IgA, suggesting that low level of eosinophil may respond better to macrolide treatment. Haruna et al., who responded to macrolide therapy, had a statistically significant increase in the percentage of eosinophil in the sample to polyp tissue. Macrolide, for their capacity to inhibit neutrophil rather than eosinophilic function, Van et al. Revealed clarithromycin decreased both the 8 and 5 in concentration in nasal discharge, implying its effect in both neutrophil and eosinophil-mediated inflammation. Reed et al. Revealed macrolide azithromycin can downregulate IL-5 production suggesting effectivity in other eosinophil-mediated diseases such as asthma. Clarithromycin was as effective as methylprednisolone in improving SUMA-22 and endoscopy appearance scores eosinophilic patient, although statistically significant difference was only noted in the endoscopy appearance scores, similar to study Bezek et al., which found that clarithromycin and dexamethasone had distinctly different inflammatory pathway. Both clarithromycin and dexamethasone upregulated the production of anti-inflammatory mediator and downregulated the production of TH2 response and eosinophilic promoting molecule. Yes, one response and neutrophilia promoting molecules. Most trial and review promoted long-term, long-dose macrolide therapy for chronic rhinosinusitis. Low-dose macrolide treatment has been suggested effect of long-term macrolide therapy, such as antibiotic resistance and cardiac event, should not be ignored. Finally, decreasing nasal polyp size and reducing discharge and udem as reflected in a superior SUMA-22 and endoscopy appearance scores. Clarithromycin performed better than methylprednisolone in the treatment of non-eosinophilic nasal polyps. Clarithromycin and methylprednisolone were shown to be effective in the treatment of eosinophilic nasal polyps. Methylprednisolone was significantly better than clarithromycin in terms of superior endoscopy appearance score and biopsy for tissue eosinophil cell count prior to treatment is recommended. Critical application, are the study results valid? Yes. Is the number of samples available according to the number form that we came to the end? Yes. Can this research continue? Yes. Is this research useful? Yes. Can the results be applied to your patients? Yes. Does this research affect action or therapy for patients? Yes. Does this research provide any benefits? Yes. Pure water, not fancy, but very meaningful. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Handa. I think this is a good journal because this is a randomized control trial. Okay. For the first chance to the content reviewer is Dr. Tika. Dr. Tika.
Ya, Dokter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the opportunity, Doctor, and thank you for the good presentations, Dr. Handa. And about the journal, I want to ask, first thing is, there is any reason why in this research duration of therapy is only 15 days? And the second is, do you think it needs further evaluation on the sample after therapy? If yes, using what and how long after the therapy? And the third is this journal is good enough to be applied on a clinical therapy, while they state that there is limitation on their study? Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Handa, can you answer first or, yeah, you answer first for content reviewer question. Dr. Handa.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Tika. Well, the reason, yes, there is. The reason is the long course of the treatment can lead to emergence of resistance and potential adverse drug effects. The adverse drug effect if clarithromycin were associated with more cardiovascular events. To number 2, using SUMA-22 and endoscopy appearance, maybe can evaluate it after 7 days the therapy, 2 weeks after the therapy, and maybe 1 month after therapy.
Dr. Tika, can you repeat your second question?
Okay, Doctor. My second question is, do you think it need further evaluation on the sample after the therapy? If yes, using what and how long after the therapy?
Further apa?
Monitoring of the therapy, you mean, Dr. Tika? How long we need to monitor this this patient
yes, how
after
long,
therapy?
Yes, how long will the evaluation is needed after the therapy?
After the therapy, after 15 days.
Yeah.
This therapy is 15 days,
Yeah,
and
because
after
it state in the journal that they only do evaluation is about on the 7 days of therapy and then on the 15 days of therapy. But after the therapy, they has no state that they evaluation the patient.
yeah, okay. Yeah, Dr. Handa.
Yes, maybe with using SNOT 22 again and endoscopy appearance again, maybe can evaluate it after 7 days the therapy. Next, 2 weeks after therapy and 1 month after therapy.
Is it clear, Dr. Tika?
I guess it's clear.
Can you repeat the answer? Can you repeat the answer?
I guess that the meaning of the Dr. Handa is she can evaluation she want to evaluation atau she can evaluation after the therapy using SNOT 22 and endoscopic evaluation, and it can evaluation during 7 days after the therapy, and then 2 weeks and 1 month.
1 month, yeah.
Maybe Dr. Desi, any further information or adding for information?
Okay, yeah, maybe later, Doc, in the last.
Okay. Next question, maybe. Is it enough, Dr. Tika, or you still have a question for Dr.
Third question.
Oh yeah.
There is a
Is it applied in our clinic? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is because with macrolide therapy 2 weeks, this journal have been reported to show significant in eosinophil, macrolide, macrophage, IL-6, IL-8, and TNF-alpha.
Yeah, okay. For our research, maybe for our next research, can we apply it for our own research, continue this research? Is it possible? Yeah, okay.
Dr. Handa?
Yes.
Is it possible for us to continuing this research?
Maybe with effective in more cheap and effectivitas to the therapy to patient.
More? Can you repeat it? More cheap? No. apakah memungkinkan penelitian ini kita lanjutkan di THT Undip? Misalnya Bu Handa mau penelitian tentang ini, bisa nggak? Ada nggak rekomendasinya di sini? Ini kan ada keterbatasan ya. Ada keterbatasan dari penelitian. Sorry, I have to speaking in bahasa, finally. Because I think Dr. Handa cannot understand what Dr. Desi questions. Ya, ya Dr. Handa. Dr. Handa?
Iya, iya dokter.
Paham kan apa yang ditanyakan sama Dokter Desi? Mungkin nggak ini dilanjutkan penelitiannya. Di sini ada keterbatasan dan ada nggak rekomendasi di sini? Rekomendasi untuk penelitian selanjutnya?
Di sini direkomendasikan dengan sampel yang lebih besar dengan waktu yang diperpanjang, dokter. Yang lebih lama. Untuk melihat efek terapinya.
Ya. Jadi memungkinkan ya. Ini Dokter Desi mau membimbing siapa yang mau meneliti ini bagus banget ya, karena memang sebenarnya sudah kita terapkan ya Dokter Desi ya. Ini untuk pemakaian clarithromycin untuk yang non eosinofilik, kemudian methylprednisolone untuk yang eosinofilik, bahkan claritro dan metil. Sebenarnya kalau saya baca nih ya, maaf nih saya pakai bahasa Indonesia. Karena kelihatannya Dokter Handa kurang bisa menangkap. Ataukah memang suaranya kurang jelas ya? Clarithromycin digabung dengan methylprednisolone ini sebenarnya ada bukan side effect. Jadi dia ada semacam farmakokinetiknya antara dua obat ini bisa saling ada efek samping saat dia digabung antara kedua ini dengan waktu yang lama. Betul nggak Dokter Desi? Dokter Eci mungkin bisa menjelaskan. Saya pernah baca, tapi memang tidak saya baca lebih dalam lagi. Cuma kalau digabung di sini juga ada penelitiannya, digabung juga bagus banget ya, bener ya. Cuma memang untuk waktu pemberiannya nggak boleh lama-lama gitu kalau digabung. Dengan pemberian clarithromycin sendiri juga di sini disebutkan 14 hari aja ya.
Oke.
Ya, jadi nanti untuk penelitian selanjutnya nanti kalau misalnya memang mau diberikan dalam waktu yang dalam jangka waktu yang lebih lama, nanti dilihat lagi apakah ini single, maksudnya misalnya clarithromycin saja atau methylprednisolone aja atau keduanya, clarithromycin dan methylprednisolone, kemudian interaksi kedua obat ini bisa dilakukan penelitian ini yang sesuai dengan komite etis itu berapa lama gitu. Jadi di pertimbangan farmakokinetik dari obat, berapa lama bisa dilakukan penelitian jangka panjang atau pemberian jangka panjang obat ini, gitu. Gimana Dokter Eci?
Nanti terakhir aja deh dok.
Ya, nggak apa-apa kalau misalnya ini kan sekalian
Sekalian
diskusikan,
ya.
nggak apa-apa ya, nggak apa-apa. Nanti di akhir kalau misalnya masih ada tambahan silahkan.
Ya, oke.
Is it? Oke, kita lompat dulu ya, sama pertanyaan Dokter Rahma. Sudah terjawab belum Dokter Rahma yang
Dokter Tika.
question? Dokter Rahma, Dokter Tika.
Ya.
Your third question, is it clear?
I think it's clear enough,
ya?
Doctor. Thank you.
Clear enough, okay. So the second writing reviewer of Dr. Rio.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I want to review this journal. I think this journal is very interesting to us to study the RCT design. I think the most reliable design for evaluating the treatment. Yeah. The author is investigated by comparing the efficacy to drugs to treatment the polyposis to group eosinophilic polyps and non-eosinophilic polyps. The author also randomized the sample by using lottery sampling or fishbowl technique. I think it's good for allocation sample into group. And the author explained the assessor were blinded when they evaluated the patient before and after treatment, but the patient were not blinded when they got the drugs. I think. Okay.
So,
And the last, the author also explained the limitation for their study, but the sample size and the follow-up period of this study. I think this very good journal and can applicable to our condition in Indonesia, and we need to continue this study. Thank you.
yeah. Okay.
What about writing formation of this article? Of bahasa article, is it clear enough for the translation examples?
I think enough.
Enough? Is it good translation? Do you think so?
Bahasa will comment by
Yeah, I think
Dr.
it's good enough.
This is writing reviewer, right?
Critical appraisal, ya?
No, this is a writing reviewer, tata penulisan.
Writing, not about
I'm sorry,
methodological.
Dr.
Methodological.
I reviewer of the method and critical appraisal, Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. in my in my WhatsApp is this writing reviewer. Sorry. Okay,
Writing reviewer is by Dr.
Dr. Yudis?
Dr. Yudis, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Next, Dr. Yudis, maybe Francis reviewer.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you.
Francis reviewer, writing reviewer.
Yes,
Okay.
Doctor. Thank you for the opportunity. I will share screen about the correction.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yudis.
Okay, first, for the presentation, this is a good journal presentation from Dr. Handa. The first correction from me, the first is from the cover. For the writer font, this is using 14 font in Times New Roman. The correction is must be 12 in font, the size font. And the next correction is this is in page 1. The right is written nasal outcome test or SNAP 22. You must be right in italic form. And the next correction, it's also same for the page 3 in this Lafarge hidung IL8. It must be italic in word of Lafarge. And the next
maybe
correction,
you can using irigasi, ya.
Oh yes, Doctor. For the Indonesian, you have to
Yeah.
change the left by irigasi hidung.
Yeah.
And the next correction is for the page 5. This is the citations must be in superscript in 14 and 15. And the next is for the table 1, demography, patient, and polyp non-eosinophilic. In the written, you must be written above the table. And the next is also the same in table 2. You have to written is above the table.
Table is above the table, and
if you have the picture, you have the under the
picture,
figure.
figure.
Yes, or figure.
Okay. Yeah.
And the next correction, there is some word just like pre-treatment. In treatments, you have to italic the form, and also the others. This is in page 9. In pre-treatment, you have to italic, and this pre-treatment in also in italic, and this also in page 10. Pre-treatment.
Maybe pre-treatment should can using in bahasa, ya.
Oh, okay.
It's in bahasa pre-treatment.
In this journal in page 10 you using pre-treatment, and also in next using pre-perawatan. Okay. Maybe you can choose one of the writing choices for the journal writing in English or Indonesian. I think that's all for me, doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you can send your file to Dr. Penny, yeah, Dr. Yudis.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Yanur is already join us or not yet?
Still in the meeting, yeah.
Okay, still meeting, yeah. So, maybe from Dr. Achi first.
Okay. First, I want to thank for Dr. Handa for your presentation. You have a good PowerPoint, but maybe have to more study to present. Yeah. I want to give a comment. In journal reading, we have 2 points that we can learn from journal reading. Yeah. The first point is methodology, and the second point is about the content, about the discuss in the research. Yeah, we'll get the new information about maybe about the etiology or diagnostic or treatment. Okay, in this case, in this journal, they discuss about the treatment in eosinophilic and non-eosinophilic polyp. Yeah, and then I want to comment about the first question by Dr. Tika about what is the reason by choosing 15 days in this journal. Dr. Handa, maybe if we see the original journal, they already said about the reason. Yeah, Dr. Handa already said about that too again. Maybe it's about the time they do this research. Yeah, they only research for 2 months or for how many months, Dr. Handa? From July in the abstract, yeah.
From August.
Yeah, August to December. August to December. Only 4 months, and they get about 42 participant, yeah, 4 months. So maybe 2 weeks is enough for 4 months. Is if more than 2 weeks, we'll get the long research, yeah. But in the is there a resident in the page 12 in the original journal? They say about the reason why they pick the 2 weeks course of macrolides, yeah, because they have been report show significant reduction of eosinophilic macrophage, interleukin 6, interleukin 7, and TNF alpha. Yeah, that's why they choose 50 milligram once daily for 15 days. But the standard is using macrolide is low dose and long therapy. So we should 250 milligrams per day for at least 8 weeks. Yeah, in the standard therapy is low dose. Okay, 250 miligram per hari 8 minggu. Tapi in this research using 500 milligrams once daily in 2 weeks. Yeah, because maybe about the time. And then I want to comment about Dr. Kanti has asking me about the combine between clarithromycin and methylprednisolone. Actually, I haven't read it yet, doctor. but maybe in this journal they divided the participant with eosinophilic and non-eosinophilic, and they found that non-eosinophilic is better using clarithromycin than methylprednisolone from SNOT-22 and endoscopic appearance. Yeah.
Yeah.
About the combine, I haven't read it yet, doctor. Sorry.
I just read it. I just read it now because I'm searching in my email. There's no email from Handa, but oh, okay, and it's me, Handa already sent me. Sorry. So
Yeah, Handa
and
didn't
I just
send the
read.
original. Yeah.
Yeah. I just read
Uh,
that there's no combination here. Yeah,
yeah.
actually, this is only clarithromycin only or methylprednisolone only. So I'm sorry for the question.
It's okay. It's okay.
Uh, but
Yeah. And
actually, I always use clarithromycin and methylprednisolone, both of them, and it's really good
okay.
result for my patient. But not too long, only 3 to 5 days. And for methylprednisolone, only maybe for 8 milligrams a day, or 8 to 16 milligrams. But it's really good results for patient. Of course, with nasal irrigation and Afamis if needed.
Steroid intranasal ya.
Intranasal, sorry.
Intranasal steroid. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I want to comment about the evaluation after 15 days that Dr. Tika has asking. I can see in this journal they didn't mention. They only mention what is the reason they picked the 15 days therapy. And then the last question is applied on our clinic. Yeah. Actually, when I'm in resident, we never using macrolide for polyp treatment, but there are 2 or 3 patients who have intractable refractor polyp in our outpatient clinic that he has and she has, yeah, both she and he has already surgery in Dr. Krishna case report, yeah. And we tried using this clarithromycin. Clarithromycin is also in our BPJS, in our government program, so we can really apply this research for our hospital if anyone to continue this research. Because in the critical appraisal, in the second point about the size, about the number of sample, I don't agree with Dr. Penny if you said yes in the second point, yeah, yang is the number of sample available according to the number, yeah, from the beginning to the end, yeah, because in this journal they didn't mention it so clear how much sample in the beginning and how much sample in the end. Is there any sample, any participant who drop out? Yeah, because in your algorithm or apa tadi tuh flow chart, in flow chart treatment, you said if it said in this journal said after 7 days treatment, if they didn't improve, they said no and yes. If they didn't improve, then they back to the standard therapy. So maybe from this participant, maybe there's a few participants who back to the standard therapy, and but they didn't mention the number of the sample. Yeah. So I think for the critical appraisal about the number of sample is no. not yes, yeah. And then we can see in the abstract, in the non-eosinophil participant is only 9 participant in non-eosinophil, but 33 participant in eosinophil, ya. So ya, jadi 9 sama 33 antara non-eosinophil sama eosinophil. I think quite big
Not
difference
equal.
ya. Yeah, not equal. Yeah, yeah. Maybe we can do this research. We can continue this research, but with more long period. Yeah, that's only tadi Agustus ya, Agustus, September, Oktober, November, December. Only 5 months. Maybe we can if we want to continue. Yeah, because as we know non-eosinophilic is memang lebih jarang ya. Neutrophilic polyp is more.
Rare.
Yeah,
More.
I think that's my comment, Dok. Kepanjangan ya. Ya.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Eci. So, there is clarithromycin in Fornas, yeah, right now.
Yeah, yeah. We already use it for Dr. Nurul report. We have 2 patients that neutrophilic polyp and already done 2 times surgery, still intractable polyp, and now we try to using macrolide with those with low dose, in 250 milligrams once a day.
250, okay, with clarithromycin, right?
Clarithromycin.
Okay.
About 2 months, yeah, 8 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good. Clarithromycin is very good drug, I think, because I am a patient. I am a sinusitis patient, and with history of surgery is twice.
Oh, okay.
And with allergic rhinitis, and then what else? I have a lot of
complete, you know.
disease. Yeah, okay. But don't be oncology patient.
Oh no. jangan nauzubillah min dzalik.
Yeah, because I have a lot of tonsillitis and then pharyngitis, laryngitis, LPR, and etc. with ENT disease. And I already using cephalosporin. So cephalosporin is my daily drug before I maybe 2 years. Yeah, it's very rare to eat drug or to eat medicine, to consume the medicine. And the last drug yang masih ampuh, how to say it, that have a high effectiveness for my disease, for my sinusitis, is clarithromycin. So I usually use clarithromycin once a day if my sinusitis is because my risk factor is allergic rhinitis. So it is very what we call it, hard to stabilization to my problem, yeah. But since I use Nigella sativa, it is can be studied. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nigella sativa. Okay.
Nigella sativa. Not promote, but
it's also my research when I'm resident.
Yes.
And also good. Lucia and Amel, yeah.
Yeah, in for Tuesday, yeah. For the result of thesis, yeah.
Yeah.
For Lucia, okay. So clarithromycin is very good drug, I think, yeah. So if there is this drug already accepted in for NAS,
Yeah.
Formularium Nasional in BPJS is very good things to be research to resident ya. So Dr. Handa want to research this, want to make a study research for this drug clarithromycin, or maybe other
Already have.
already. Okay.
Which division of your research, Heather?
Rhinology, dokter.
Rhinology. Oh, yeah.
What
Yeah.
title? What title, Dr. Handa?
About rhinosinusitis chronic, dokter.
Terus?
To research from pathology anatomy from the bone rhinosinusitis.
Patologi anatomi. Patologi anatomi apanya? Judulnya apa? Sudah dapat judul?
Belum, dokter.
Baru suruh baca-baca ya tentang patologi anatominya. Dari sampel apa?
Pasien rhinosinusitis kronik, dokter.
Ya, apanya yang diambil? Which
Tuh,
tissue? Jaringan apanya?
belum.
Atau mukosa patologis atau
Tulangnya,
belum
dokter.
tahu ya?
Tulangnya,
Tulang.
dokter.
Oh, tulang. Oh, oke. Ya, ya. Ya.
Okay. So is it enough, Dr. Desi?
Ya, enough, dokter.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Desi and Dr. Handa. Already presented Dr. Desi for the information for today, and we will have the next presentation from oncology division. Doctor who will present it.
Saya dokter.
Oh iya, Dr. Fani. Okay, Dr. Fani, Dr. Willy, and Dr. Dwi already join us.
Dr. Dwi sudah join, dokter. Ini saya menghubungi Dr. Willy.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Handa want to close the presentation. Dr. Handa.
Yes,
Yeah.
dokter.
You can close the presentation and don't forget send email and show of Dr. Yudi's correction about writing review, yeah, and fix the correction in Bahasa paper
Yes,
for
dokter.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
dokter.
you can close the presentation.
Thank you for our supervisor, Dr. Fanti Junika, ENT Specialist Consultant, Dr. Desi Iriani, ENT Specialist, and our fellow president for attending this journal department review. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Yeah.